Hey there guys, and we're back doing a bit of a different video. This is actually pre-recorded, and so it's not going to be streamed or anything. But you'll notice here on my channel, like the channel art here and all the thumbnails, all the thumbnails for every individual video look the exact same. And so for all these Portal ones, you can see it's the same image. And Payday as well. I'm going to try to fix that up today. And the way I'm going to do that primarily is with a program called, or a website called Pixlr. Really quick, I already searched for the images for Payday. You'll see them down there at the bottom. All I typed was Payday 2 wallpaper, and it came up. So just go to images, and you can see here that there is a bunch of cool ones, especially like if you didn't search wallpaper, you'd get a bunch of ordinary ones, but wallpaper makes it like this. So pixlr.com here is the website, and if you were to just go to regular pixlr.com, you would show up here. All you need to do, I'd recommend going to the editor first, but you can also go to Express right off the bat if you feel like it. Like I said, we're going to edit real quick. So we just open up the image from my computer. This is my thumbnail editing files folder. So just scroll down, and after we get our images, such as these 5 here, we just open up the first one we want to edit. So this one, for example, all you do is image size, and you can notice it's 2560 by 1600. Oh, that's the intro. Oh well. I forgot that I have that bound on the numpad. Anyway, it's 2560, and you're going to want to set that height to 1440. Now in this case, since it's 16 by 10, we're going to want to change the oh, and there goes the number 2 again. 2560 is the width, and height is 1440. That's the typical 1440 P resolution. That's as high as YouTube will let you go. So that's what we chose. So you just hit OK, File, and Save. Now this part's interesting. Make sure you have it formatted to be a JPEG, first of all. And then you're going to want to change the quality slider here so that the size that's right above that OK button maintains under 1000. I think you can go up to like 1048 or something, but just as a general rule, keep it under 1000, because otherwise YouTube will not maintain that. It'll say no, you can't use something that high. So you just drag the slider up a few clicks at a time until that size reaches right about there, about 9660 or 966. But you can see going one notch over was too much. So all you need to do now is hit OK. That way we save this, and it'll pull up the save as thing for your computer. I save it in my thumbnails editing files just because. And so now all we have to do is change all we need to do is change the URL we have here in order to go back to the main site, or Express. You can just change editor to Express there at the end, and it'll take you right to it. But I'll go ahead and show you the other way. So pixlr.com, just scroll down, and it's right next to the editor for your information. Browse, and you choose that image you just created, so Payday 2 in this case. And now it's fully sized, and usually what I'll do to start off is do a what in the default select section here for the overlays, I tend to do Sophia, just because, especially for Payday, because they like to incorporate a lot of blue into their images. The Sophia that already adds blue on it tends to make that even better. Sorry, that's effect, not overlay. And next I like to do a slight blur on images that look very grainy like this, like maybe a 1 or a 2, just because I don't want it to appear too harsh in the thumbnail. And that's a black screen because I pressed 1. And then apply. So you see it's much less gritty and grainy. So now what I like to do is, where is it? Focal is essentially the same as the blur, but you can see here that as I drag this around, it changes what's considered the foreground and what gets blurred out. Sort of like a, what is that called? Like in Payday 2, they have the option where you can change the, change it so that it blurs out anything that's not in that focus area where you're aiming. So I just like to keep it in relatively around the main subject here. I don't like to have the first circle, which is the main focus there, because I want these soft edges here on the top of his head and on the bottom as well. You just sort of want to get the subject highlighted, and I don't care about color or glow boost. Neither of those are really, you know, useful to me. Next, I like to go into overlay in the leaks section. It's not a vegetable or anything, but it'll do. Basically, what I do is I add things like these just slight color gradients in there over and over until I get like a nice varied look on it. So I don't put them in too hot or whatnot, but I like to put them in a little bit more with complementary colors. So like this is a dark blue background. I like to put blues in there a little bit stronger. And something like, where is it? Something like Cool or Crown works, but personally I like Override for this one just because of the contrast. And those buttons down there tend to transform the image. It doesn't like stretch it or anything. It flips it left or right, or it rotates it. And so I'll just apply a weak version of that there. There's this cool little effect in here called beep, but we're not going to use that. You can find similar things to beep though in the light paint and neon sections, mostly in the neon though. It's what I prefer, because light paint tends to have a lot of words and stuff that aren't necessarily relevant to most things. So let's see, Skitty should do. It's blue, so I'll keep it in there a decent amount. And these light paint things are especially cool because they sort of add like a texture to the image. That one works as well. I don't want it right in his face or anything, so let's just turn it down. Yeah, that works. And last but not least, for these images, I tend to add some text. So you can see here, it's like a fat squat text. Let me see if I can get that looking a little better for you guys. Yeah, that works. So you see it's like squat and very, very bold. So I think we're going to find something like that in retro, because they're very clean styles of text. So maybe day poster, what else? Fork, maybe Limes, or however you pronounce that. Minotaur could work. No, never mind. Minotaur will not work. Maybe minstrel poster? Nope. Don't like those curves. Do not like the bumps all over that. Don't like the really thin parts there. What about fork? It sort of works. It's close. But I think day poster. It's almost the exact same. Unfortunately, you can't like change around the height or whatever of the text. But basically, I just position this in the corner. I don't always do it in the corner. In fact, a lot of the times I do it in the middle. But just like a dark gray version. Apply that. I don't know. I think there's a tool you can use to like individually blur things, which you would want to do with the edges of the text. But I don't think I can find it at the moment. So I think we'll leave that as it is for now. What else? Okay, yeah. So go back, retro, day poster, and type it again. Now this time we're going to leave it white because we want a really high contrast color so that it clashes and you can see it clearly when you're looking at the thumbnail. And you just scale it down a little bit so that background text that we colored darkly ends up being more of, you know, a shadow instead of just a line. And it makes it look more 3D as well. So I tend to put it at the top there. I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and save. Quality is the same way as we did with the editor. You just want it to hit about 1000. Obviously, you can almost never save it at 100% because 100% is often a megabyte and a half or more, but 98 will work. So just go to my thumbnails folder where I'm planning on putting these, and no, I do not want to replace that. I do not want to, because I don't want to get rid of the original. Oh, okay, I guess I thought it would overwrite it and automatically put in the parentheses, but let's go ahead and do that ourselves then. So 1, and that's basically the process. I think I'm going to go ahead and show you guys where it's located and just show you the example, but after this I'm going to time-lapse this so that it doesn't take quite so much time. I have a feeling this will take a little bit, maybe like an hour and a half, a half hour or so to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right about now. So I guess I'll see you guys in a second. Okay guys, I guess this about finishes most of the stuff. There's something I figure I'm going to have to do, because looking at this folder here, it's a little unorganized looking. They're obviously alphabetized and all that, but just looking at them, I can't exactly tell what they could be in such a small format. So what I'm going to do, go into my folder, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder within it, specifically for Counter-Strike. I want to put CSGO here with the colon, but it doesn't want me to do that. So I'll just take everything, including the CSGO one, and drop it in there. Don't need that. Month of Reinvention was quite a while ago. And we'll create the 2 other folders, one for the Payday 2 ones, and one for the Portal 2. So Portal 2, you go in there. And last but not least, Payday 2. And there to there. Alright, so they're all in. That's good. I should probably turn down my volume a little bit. I just realized I'm peaking a bit. But now we should be good, maybe? Don't tell me I bumped the gain knob. That would be bad. Oh well. So that's more or less all you need to do. You could tell with some of the ones we did there, like this one especially, there were some changes with the colors and stuff, and I added the light rays and stuff, but other than that, this one was actually kind of a luck out. Like, I lucked out on this one. I didn't really have to do a whole lot. Let me quickly pull up the other ones. So let's actually start with Payday 2, since those are the ones I did first. Payday 2. And full screen it. There we go. So yeah, you can tell there were definitely some improvements over the originals. And I think they should all work for using on YouTube. The reason I say think is I don't know if I necessarily want to use all of them. But yeah, this one I really like, all the clean aesthetic. This one looks very grungy. Oh, I love this one. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so this one here, it's amazing. I really love the blue and the orange. Same with this one. It's a little blurry. This one, I sort of did a little different thing with the fireworks. I was hoping it would work. It's okay, but you can't really notice it, nor do you really need to or want to. This one, I really like the grandiose nature of it. You can tell I added the fire in the bottom there and stuff. I really focused on the red on this one, trying to make that muzzle flash eccentric. This one could do with a little bit less white on that text and the character, but other than that, it looks pretty good. Same with this one, it's a little bright, but in thumbnail form it shouldn't be too bad. And then this one's very mellow with all the new colors. So, oh, and that's the original. I guess this more or less wraps this up. And just for your information, I would like to say that all of this commentary that's been put over this is post-commentary. So, if you enjoy that, go ahead and leave a like, but I'm probably not going to do too many of these videos in the near future, unless it's something that requires it. But yeah, so now we can change out everything except for maybe that Terraria thumbnail. Other than that, I think we can go ahead and say bye, guys. So until next time, oh, bye there.